options other than the LHIN. I was told at St. Joseph Villa there's 150 beds and there's 200 people on the waiting list. Now, I don't know, and I understand that the 32 beds were assessed to go home by March 31st. Okay, that's what I was advised, because there's no room. The dialysis will continue and the diabetic clinic will continue for another year or so.
That's right.
However, however, I heard you also say that the LHIN is not responsible unless the facility is built. So it's up to the politicians to get a building, and then the LHIN will be involved in the administration and the nursing. So that, I think that main difference is not being out there.
Right.
Now with the general hospital being available, I'm not saying that that's the best site. We'd have to go in and examine it, but there is a need. Those 200 beds, and I appreciate the help because my mom gets the help. A provider comes in and helps her. My 92-year-old aunt that had breast cancer is getting help, so I appreciate the help. But the main focus that has to be out there is that the LHIN is not responsible. It's political. It's up to the Minister of Health to provide us with the money for these 200 long-term beds. Now, am I right or am I wrong?
Yeah, the decision to grant new licenses for more long-term care home beds is a Minister of Health decision.
Right, so the assessment that there's 200 beds, and I don't want to put Bonnie on the spot at St. Joseph Villa, but she advised me that there's only 150 beds, and through normal nutrition, once somebody dies, then they replace the bed, and people are living longer. I've got an aunt in there that's over 100 years old, you know, and people are living longer, so the beds aren't becoming available. And then we've had nurses that worked at the general and doctors that work there, and they feel like, hey, this facility might be able to be used. Someone's got to do a needs study on that hospital. I'm not saying that's the ideal spot. Maybe we could build cheaper on a vacant land, maybe the Water Street Arena where that was, you know, and provide a new facility. I'm not saying the general is the almighty, but all I'm saying is the LHIN is not responsible. It's up to the politician and the Minister of Health to come in and provide us with a facility, and then you'll get involved. Am I thinking right?
But our job is to work with our communities to assess what the needs are, and to, you know, we might make some recommendations. And I guess what I've said this evening is we're wanting to make sure that we have a lot of other options and alternatives. Because one thing that's important to remember is even if we can help support someone at home, even 3-4 months longer,
that's my thing, to stay in my home forever.
As long as you can, right?
Excuse me, Chantale. The current situation, the 1 year at the General Hospital for the 32 beds,
it's not for 32.
35?
No, 32 beds are only for 3 more months.
Right, that's what I'm just talking about, Jerry. Just give me a second. That facility was acceptable in those circumstances, correct? You guys funded those beds at that facility for that period of time?
Yes, we did.
Okay. Now, you just showed in your chart that you had a spike, and then the period while those beds were in play, the numbers went down. If the hospital is sold and we had the need for the same amount of beds, where in the LHINs would you put those 35 or whatever amount of patients?
I think what's been happening is why that number has been coming down is there's been a number of other programs that have been put in place too. It's not just been the 32.
I understand, but even if it's 22 instead of 35, where would those patients go if the hospital wasn't available?
Yeah, I think what we're finding is that people are not having to take that extra step to go into a temporary place to get some rehabilitation and then go home.
I understand, but where's the capacity if you need, like if for whatever reason you need that capacity of 35 beds or 55 beds or 22 beds, if you lose the hospital, that facility, where would you put them?
So those are things that we could explore. There may be some additional space at St. Joseph's. There may be some space.
Is there any space at St. Joseph's? Yeah, because it sounds like there's no space at St. Joseph's.
So that's something I'd have to look into.
But they are there on assessment needs. That's what I was told.
That's right.
And they're only there for 90 days.